Good evening, people. I've got a DC jack to replace. I thought that I'd share this with you because it's quite important. This is the Lenovo 110S. Let me just cross-reference. That's the Lenovo laptop. It's been dropped and the DC jack is broke. Yes, it is actually. I was absolutely right. 110S basically. Now the trouble is that the DC jack, as far as I'm aware, is not available for this model. Yes, the 200 series, yes there is, but for the 100 it is not. However, I'm going to show you how to sort of repair this with the 200 series DC jack, with a little bit of a twist in the end. So you just bear with me, just do a bit of a organisation. But in the meantime, let me sort of get this right. Yeah, so these are the Lenovo 200 series jack I have. I might be even mistaken. I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's right. It's a different jack altogether. So yeah, absolutely. That will not fit, but I'm going to work around that to try and make it fit. Let's put this back. Sort the rest out. Okay, so let's stay focused on this. This particular jack, the trouble is the angling of my camcorder. Oh, that's not going to show up anything, is it? Piece of sufficient light in the room, but it won't show anything, so I've got to go down the back of the camcorder. I might even have to zoom out. Just my apologies, but it's just the way it's going to be. So that's the port, which is damaged right at the end here. I can always put a solder blob and patch it up, but I feel that the actual pinouts are, the jack itself is bent, which is not quite clearly visible here, but these legs are actually bent, so I'm not prepared to do sort of blob it up with a solder joint, and the job would be done within minutes. So I would like to sort of replace it with this one, but this is for a different similar netbook, but not for this specific model, as I said before. So let me first of all crack on with. It's a bit of a pain on the ass when you're trying to work and record as well at the same time. Just don't have the patience anymore. Right. Let's put the microscope on. See, now I've got to go back and check and see if I'm in range. Which is again, it's a bit of a. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to apply a bit of low melt solder. I've already applied flux on the joints, and I'm going to apply low melt solder and then take this existing thing off. But before doing so, I might even consider applying a bit of tape over this side of the circuit, because there's components on the side of it basically, so that could actually prevent it from dissipating heat onto the opposite side, and just precautions really. Okay, quite satisfied with that. Let's reflow these joints. Pity that my microscope is absolutely phenomenal, but at the same time it's loads of bollocks from Vision Engineering, and I do moan about this quite often, but they charge an arm and a leg, but it's ridiculously expensive equipment. Yes, it is the best in the industry, but equally doesn't have a decent camcorder sort of, just hurt my feet. Just bear with me for a sec, guys. Right. Bought a new chair. Ouch. Ah, that hurts flipping heck. I've got my fucking hell, man. Hope I've not sort of funny, this never happened before. It never happened before. I've got what's the word for it? Those special chairs, ergonomic chairs. A very decent one. They retail over £1,000. Just because I'm having back pains, lower back pains due to the work I do and the seating position that I'm spending most of my day just sitting on a chair. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that would help, but it didn't help right now because it's just trapped my feet under the leg. Look at that. That should be actually my toe. So I'm putting a pair of trainers on now. I'm taking off the sandal. Let me just make sure that you're still in view. Okay. So I've floored the joints with low melt solder. Now what I'm going to do is grab my PCB holder. Won't need this now, for now at least. Turn it off. Let's grab this. Make sure that there's nothing else now that can quite easily damage like the keyboard connector. So no good just slamming everything on. You've got to be careful where you're positioning things. And so that's that. And let's slam that one on. A little bit of a stress just to. Okay, let's get the hot air station. I'll pull it up to about 7. And what I'm going to do now is, I hate this. Absolutely hate it, because let's see if I can show you what's happening. Yep. Hopefully you'll see the action. Right, I'm going to put my glasses on. I enjoy uploads and things like that, but sometimes it can be a pain on the arse really. Right, I don't care if this the DC port damage burns out. I'm not bothered about that. I need the fume extractor here, so the pin's broke, but the pin, I'll have to sort of take the pins out anyway, so take it off and then I'll show you what's going on here. Yep, that's come out now. Okay, I'm going to turn that down and turn it off because I no longer require that. The difference between the two ports is that the one I've taken off has got like an anchor type of a finish to it, you know. But whereas this is just like an L shape. So the new one's kind of an L shape. This is an anchor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bridge from that L shape onto the PCB's positive rail because it's not long enough to sort of do the job for me. And that's where I thought I'll share this, that this particular anchor type is not available. I've looked everywhere, including AliExpress. So absolutely everywhere, and it's not available. I could not find it. Right, okay, so we'll wait for that to turn off anyway. In the meantime, let me sort of apply a bit more flux, start clearing these pads out. So I can drop that port in and crack on with it. So let me grab good week. How much of the recording are you actually getting? What is it? Is it getting? I can hit this tripod as well. It's always on the way. Always on the way. Let's move this bin. Get anything closer? Come on, zoom. Focus. It's as close as we're going to get, guys. Sorry about that. Thank God that bloody thing has gone off. Right, so what I'm doing now is just with the goot wick, I'm trying to take out, clear those holes where the DC jack's going to drop in. Right, that hasn't cleared fully, but I'll come back to that after. Can be sometimes a painful process because it doesn't always go according to plan. Okay, so that's beautifully done. Sometimes it might be a good idea to apply a bit more solder, and then make another attempt. Okay, so we'll come back to that, but let me sort of clear this one because there's a little metal piece there. That's a leftover of the broken jack. There we go. Go away. Go away. Right. Hope you're getting all this. Yep, beautiful. Just holding it down with the goot wick with flux, and what it's doing is obviously the goot wick and the flux is helping the solder to get absorbed, and I bet this has been opened. This laptop has been reopened by someone else. Another workshop has had a look at it, but either they've got the experience to replace the port, I don't know, but it could have been an easy fix for them. More than likely, I guess that they could not find the replacement part, so they decided no, it's not worth fixing. Well, they can't fix it. It's not the phrase of worth fixing, it's just they can't fix it because the part's not available, which is true. I could not find the DC jack exactly identical to that. I wish I can compare them both, but whether the camera's going to allow it, I don't know. Let's it's going to be a difficult one, that. It will be a difficult one, that. Right, okay, so let me sort of zoom out and see if I can show you what's going on here, guys, okay? Just so that you understand it a little bit better as to what's happening. So this is the back end. And the back end is like this. This is like an anchor type of a jack. So you get what I mean by that, don't you? Right, okay, so hopefully you do. Right, so just leave this to the side, but the one I'm replacing with is this. It's not an anchor, it's more of an L shape rather than anchor type. See what I mean? The other one's like an anchor, this is like an L type, but this is a new port. It's a different port. So let's jump back into the game. What the freaking hell with this camcorder, man? £600 a camcorder, that. For me, that's a lot of money, that. Focus with ease, this. Okay, so the other one was fitted kind of this orientation, where the big plastic piece is facing upwards on this orientation of the board, basically. So on this orientation of the board, the black piece is here, because there's a long pin here that needs to go in with this. There's a big slot here that goes in there, but on this one I'm going to put it the opposite direction, basically. So the black bit I was on about is going to go on the lower side, on the bottom side. Okay, I'll drop that in beautifully. As you can see here, it's gone in. And then I'll be running a jumper wire onto the positive line, basically. Let me see if you get that. Are you getting that? There you go. Okay, so I'll leave it. Yep, leave it there. But before doing so, I might just kind of lift this, raise this pin a little bit. Whoa, that's broken off, that. Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. Right, okay, no worries. I'm still going to use that jack. Doesn't matter. Right. Let's apply a bit of flux. Difficult for me is that I'm not recording on the PC, it's done directly through the camcorder, so sometimes I can't see what's been recorded and how it's been recorded, so please forgive me for that. Again, I've got to get off the chair and check and make sure that you're in range. You are in range. How many minutes have I got? Half an hour. Hopefully it's not going to take me half an hour to do this. Okay, let's grab some leaded solder. And apply on one terminal and just press down on the jack to make sure that it's seated properly. Okay, very happy with that. Do the second pin. And then let's clean the tip, actually, guys. This tip is a bit of a mess. Usually the recommended time frame for holding the iron on a solder joint is around about 2 seconds and not longer than that, but dismiss that for now. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to turn the board upside down to inspect the lower side. I'll do that after. But what I would like to do is run that wire first. So let's make sure that you're in range. Yep, you are. Okay, so that's been taken care of, hopefully. Let's grab a wire. You get a bit of wire from here. I use a small amount, but I'm going to create the anchor myself. So what I'm going to do is run the wire from the, and drop it on the top. Funny thing is, it's so noisy in here because of all these equipments and everything. So a bit of a fucking pain on the ass with the background noise. I hope you're getting all this, but if you don't, my apologies. My hand is on the way. My apologies. What I'm going to do is, I think it might be a good idea to connect the camcorder to the battery pack, sorry, to the mains, because just in case it goes beyond half an hour when it shouldn't be, then at least nothing's been missed out. 27 minutes, so let me put an external power source onto it, and let's turn the power on. I forgot to turn this off, so turn that off. Yep, okay, beautiful. Quite satisfied with that now. Now I can stop worrying about the power side of it, because very impressed with the chopping side of it on this. Basically, I need a flat, more of a flat tip cup, you know what I mean? So it's sort of, see if I can get it out of a different way. No, that hasn't done it. So I'll probably file the tip of this. This is where the idea of being a perfectionist comes into effect. That pin was bloody shite. That just broke within one friggin' twist. It's just absolutely bollocks. Yep, that'll do. So what I'm going to do now, that'll do. Let's apply some flux here, then leaded solder, funny, I did do a repair last time on a joint on a DC jack like that, and it was done in minutes, because all it needed was just a reflow on the edge, but the entire jack wasn't, the pins on the entire jack wasn't damaged on that, so I managed to get away with that. But this time around, I mean, I'm not taking the risk. Just want to make sure that this is right. You know, if the port is damaged, that'll, you know, and or the side arms damaged, then I would strongly recommend just replacing it. So that thing has been created now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and create a bit of a I think that will do. That'll do. Come on. Come on. That'll do. That's magic. Let's plug it in the box. A bit more flux. I think I might have a dodgy soldering cartridge. Let's sort of clean this off. I don't think this. I think we're quite satisfied now. Turn out all these bloody fan off for now, unless I need to apply some solder on the opposite side of the PCB. Nope, opposite side is perfectly fine. As you can see that the pin has actually, this wire has come out through the other end. Let me sort of man, this is ever so difficult. It's getting ever so difficult. Yeah, there you go. The pin is out here. Sort of. Yeah, so you can see. You can just about see what's going on here. So the pin is out here. The wire is out through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop that wire right at the tip of it. Make sure nothing else is on the way. Just get rid of the excess that's been it. So that's done brilliantly. And the jack is in its place basically. Okay. Now the question is, will it go in the case without any sort of problem? Well, to be dead honest with you, it should do. It should go in the case without any problem, but we'll see. Let's wait and find out. Okay. These wraps are done just to protect this surrounding stuff. There's a button here as well. I need to make sure that that doesn't get damaged in the process of applying heat. It's very important that that doesn't get damaged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you out of the wide angle because I don't think you can see much. Sorry, the narrow angle. I'm going to put you onto the wider angle, which means that you can actually follow what I'm doing. I'm going to give this a clean with some IPA. Put my brush and my tooth brush, the toothbrush, not my toothbrush, and but I tend to like clean it with cotton bud first to get rid of all the excess solder, and then sort of take it from there. Okay. Okay. So I think it's clean enough to be dead honest with you, but I'm still going to sort of grab, follow my instinct, as I always do, just to give it a thorough clean. Whatever the model this jack is, I can't fully sort of recall. As I said, the 100 series jack is not the same. Even if there is, it's not anchored, it's always shorter. It's not anchored like this and it's not long, it's always short, like an L shape. And you're going to be struggling, you will have to run a jumper wire. Regardless, you know, and for you to sort of get this board up and running, you know, Ultrabook working again. Absolutely no chance. So I'm just inspecting to make sure that it's laying flat and it's not crooked and anything like that. Just checking the solder joints at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a microscope view of what's been done. So let me sort of get this underneath here and possibly get the set up the microscope, so sorry, the camcorder, just so that you can see what's going on. And I almost pull the rip the fucking thing out. Let's see what's going on here, if I can get a view. This tripod. Okay, we're nearly there, we're on an angle, nearly there. See, so it needs to be up, right? I don't know what come on, focus, you fucking shit. Beautiful. I wish I can get an angle like this all the time, every time. So I'm going to keep this circle in the center and just run right. So as you can see here, that's where the pin is. Zoom out a little bit just so that you can get a better focus. Okay, and look at it from the opposite side. That's where is it now? Come on, focus. That's the bridge what I've created with a bit of a solder there, and so that's that bit there at the back, the center, the pin for the 19 volt. That's what I've created. Okay, because originally that's a lot shorter than the original one. The original one's got an anchor across, and that's long enough to go through that. Plus that this DC jack has been fitted the opposite, upside down basically, otherwise you can't, it's not going to fit, there's no parts available. So okay, let's sort of go back. Right, so let's reassemble this unit, power it up and see if it's working. Or unless if it's got additional problem, then God help me, because I'm cycling tomorrow morning, so I don't want to be working very late today. Absolutely no intentions of doing so. Let's make sure that there's no foil left on this, and again just making another check to make sure that I'm all happy with everything. Yep, very happy with that. Okay, so this is the orientation that it would go in. Yes, absolutely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these, I'm going to attach these connectors before I'm going to sort of put the board slot in it into the place, because it can be a bit difficult to sort of do that after. Okay, see, I'm constantly sort of keeping an eye out on the camcorder. It's just a fucking pain in the ass basically. Sorry for swearing, but it's taking me a lot longer to sort of faff around with this camcorder. The webcams were far better because it's right on your monitor and you can see what's going on, whereas with the camcorder you can't. You've got to go back onto the maybe I can set it up on the screen, but quite a bit of a faffing around to do. Okay, so slide that in, make sure that the keyboard is in, and also, yep, just check, make sure that it is. Yep. I'm going to struggle. We are going to struggle because that port is a bit large. It's a bit bigger than this. So I am going to fucking struggle.
Right, so what's the way around this now? There isn't any other way around it. Shit. There isn't any other way around this. What is it that it's exactly catching on? It's sort of a quick glimpse and see what is it that it's exactly catching on. What is it catching on that? Bollocks, man. Fucking bollocks. Interesting this, because now this video is going to go a bit way longer than I thought it would do, so it's a bit funny that I use the same port for a 200 series and it worked like magic, but with this one for some reason it's not sort of grasping. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a bit of grinding. I'm going to do a bit of grinding here. Let's sort of get this pin underneath me. And oh, for fuck's sake, mate. I don't think you can see what I'm going to be doing, but just going to have to forgive me, guys, but let's try this out. See how it works or it doesn't work. Try this out, see how it goes. Stick this underneath it. See if that would fit in nicely. Still there's a bit of a stress here somewhere. What is this stress? So unfortunately, yeah, there's a bit of a messing around to do. I hope you're getting all this. Hopefully, yes, there is a bit of a messing around to do. I'm working like a surgeon. Gotta be careful I don't take too much of it out, because it might just go through the other side of the palm rest, and if it does, then you're fucked, because you just need to. I'll be in shitload of trouble if I did that. So for that reason, I've got to be very, very careful that it doesn't go on the other side of the palm rest, basically. fact, what I might do is I might sort of take the foil off. There is a plastic layer underneath it, isn't it? Right, but I haven't considered taking the foil off, and I'll apply a bit of Captain tape after, but for now, probably going to take that off. Just to occupy this DC, and then I'll deal with that after. And the easiest repair would have been to sort of put that thing, but just put a bit of solder blob in, but that's not my way of doing things basically, so I've created a bit more work for myself. Bastard. It lines up nicely through here, but it's oh, hang on, it's gone in. It has gone in. Okay. Magic. So what happened, what changes has happened here? That's a bit interesting one. That is a very interesting one. That. This has gone in fine now. That's gone in. But how come it didn't before? Obviously I've grinded some of this palm rest out, but what was bothering it before? Just I'd like to understand things a bit better, where I went wrong, so that I can rectify it next time very quickly and try not to fall into the same trap again. So look, it's lined up perfectly, there's no issues at all. So where did I go wrong before? I don't know. Right, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm a little bit wary about this exposed contact here, because there's some metal keyboard contact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a bit of solder mask on that jack. Now unfortunately, by doing so, this will become a long-winded repair, which neither I or you guys were expecting it to be. So, come on, stop trolling me. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply a bit of solder mask on top of this joint, because I have a feeling that I might have problems after. So let me grab a cocktail stick. Or even I can do it with my front of my tweezer actually. Get a bit of solder mask out. Just apply it on top of this. The only reason I'm doing this is on this corner there are metal contacts, and at least if I can mask the 19 volt positive rail pin, that'll just make sure, that'll just make sure that it doesn't short the board out. See, when you've got to charge a decent amount of money when you're replacing something like this, because look, usually for someone to do this, it's probably minutes, but look how long it's taken me, fucking probably an hour, because of all these unexpected issues that you come across with. So these fuckers that are doing some of the jobs for next to nothing is destroying bread and butter for others. I have my own rates and I don't give a monkey whether if somebody likes it or not. I value my time, and I'm not ripping people off, but at the same time I'm doing a good job. I will get it working, where some of the shops will turn around and say that we're not doing it. And a typical example is this, where I haven't given up with it. I am fixing it, it will be working, and that's my guarantee. Yeah, we'll settle it now. I'll need bloody ultraviolet light to sort of cure this thingy, but let me sort of put this solder mask away, because that's a really awesome bit of thing, this. And I have to leave this ultraviolet light on for God knows probably about 5 minutes. Yeah, roughly about 5 minutes or so, so you'll have to sort of be patient for this repair, because I didn't expect this to be that long, unfortunately, so it was a bit of a troll. Now I'm going to look for this DC jack again on the internet, because it's a bit of a pain on the ass. Funny thing is, I bought this DC jack for about pack of 10 for about 10 or 11 quid, but in UK, God help us, fucking hell, it's 10-12 quid for a port like this, a single one. What a fucking rip-off. Fucking knobs. Go and fuck yourself. Just ripping people off, basically. You can buy them for next to nothing. So, you know, you make a couple of quid, fair enough, but buying them, I bought them for like £1 a piece. Say £1.50 for argument's sake. 9 quid, 10 quid, £12 for a port like this. What you're on about, guys? I mean, that's like 1,000% markup. That's what I call rip off Britain. So let's get this thing out. Let's see if I can. You know, I wish I had a bigger room. I wish I had a bigger workshop, because this is just a pain on the ass. I'm using this nail cure thing, which has about four lights, and I'll be tucking this underneath it. So just to cure the solder masking is the right word. Let's get rid of some of these. And I'm going to turn it on, fire it up, no timer, and I tend to sort of cover it up just to sort of let the heat build up a little bit better. So that's what we're going to leave. Are you watching what I'm doing? Hope you are. Hope so. Okay, we'll leave it for a good 5 minutes, and I'm sorry that the video has taken a bit longer. If you're interested in finding what the outcome is, then by all means feel free to stay tuned, and if not, then hit the button and I'll see you in the next video. But I would like to sort of do it professionally. This is why, I mean, a lot of retailers won't even get involved with all that, because they just don't either have the time to deal with it, or they don't know how to go about it. So 48 minutes. Change a DC jack on a laptop motherboard. Whew. Give it a good 5 minutes, guys. So the pity thing is I can't stop the recording because it's on a 4K recording. How long have I got left? 1 hour and 16 minutes left on that SD card. 1 hour's already gone. That means I've got to. This upload is going to take all night, basically. But the bottom line is, what you've got to do what you've got to do. That's just the way things are. So I'm afraid let's turn things off that I'm not going to need. Put things back on that I'm going to use. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on for a couple of minutes, another couple of more minutes, and I'll go away and make myself a drink. Let me see where it is. A better position in this, because right under the tube. Right, I'm going to go and make myself a brew, so I'll be back very shortly. take my gloves off because there's no need for that. There's no flux involved here. I've been using Kimbo flux for all these sort of work, and then I've been using the Amtech flux right from the beginning for the graphic tube repairs and things like that. I would highly recommend using very good quality flux, and Amtech is on the top of the game at the moment. I have been recommended to try out this Chinese version of the flux for general soldering. I mean, what tends to happen with the Kimbo flux is the Kimbo flux, after the soldering session is over, it tends to be very difficult to remove the residue. It becomes quite thick and hard and dark colour, and if you're scrubbing away basically. So that's why I'm on the search of a different type of a flux where removing it is a little bit easier after the soldering process has been completed. So as a result of that, okay, let me just reply back to this message. Sorry, I'll come back to that basically. Just I've got a message here. The computer appears to be working well. The photos were not in the data you stored because they were backed up online anyway. That's all good. Thanks again. Yeah. Well, this is the beauty of the jobs you do. You know, what time is it now? 10 p.m. and the customer's sort of giving you feedback as to what they think about the repair that I've done for them. Let me just reply back to this gentleman. He's a true gentleman, absolutely. He's a regular, true gentleman. You give him a price, and he's not sort of haggling you and trying to sort of drop down. He respects that, and I respect him. And in the long run, I look after him. That's just the way things are. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for getting back to me. Have a great weekend. Kind regards. There we go. So that'd be a nice reply. Yeah, I probably lost topic of what I was saying, but in terms of flux, yeah, going back into flux, I've been using Kimbo flux. I'm switching on to this flux, which I was recommended by someone, and I've ordered them from AliExpress because on eBay it's about £10 a tub, in AliExpress it's about £3.50, £4 a tub. Now the question comes, is he authentic? Is it whatever it is? We'll have to wait and find out. When they do arrive, I will do a short video to let you know what my findings are. But this is what I've ordered. And the larger tub, 150 gram, which is supposed to be 150, but apparently the sellers are claiming that it's 100 gram, so it'd be best to order them bigger tubs, is £2.95. I know that this is nothing, this is very cheap flux, but people have used it and it's been recommended, so I'm giving it a try. I've ordered 4 tubs of 150 gram, so technically it's 400 gram because the weight is not 100% accurate, unfortunately. Right, so I'm going to have a quick look and see what's going on here. Go around this and see if this has gone a bit solid. And poke it with the tweezer and see if it's gone solid. Interestingly it has, but I'm going to still leave it in for just a few more moments. I suppose I can put the entire thing in there, shut it down, leave it closed. Woo! I mean, obviously, coming back into the DC jack replacement, I've had to make a slight adjustment basically. I've had to grind off a little bit here just so that the edge of the DC jack is not catching, because I think it was catching. And on top of that, what I've done is I've actually grinded off a little bit of the back end of the actual DC jack. What I've fitted is plastic anyway, so it doesn't matter. And now it seems to be fitting in quite nicely, but my concerns are that the 19 volt pin, I don't want this to be touching anything. I don't want that to be shorting anything out, so as a result of that I'm just minimising the risks by applying a bit of solder mask on it, and at the same time I'm going to sort of maybe put a thin layer of Captain tape over or back onto the back side of the palms rest. Basically it's just to sort of be on the safe, because what I don't like is when I'm fixing something, I don't like it breaking because of a technician's error. So I don't, you know, that's my responsibility. That's what I'm getting paid for, and I need to make sure that it's all good and well. I'm not one of those characters where I'll do a job and just turn around and say it's not my fucking problem and it's not my this. Of course it is my problem, because I'm the one who the customer's paid, and I need to make sure that the job has reached a satisfactory level where my installation error does not turn the board into a dead board within a matter of weeks or months or whatever it is. So I will do things to the best of my ability, and if anything happens beyond that, then you know it just happens. It's just tough luck. Sort of have a quick look. Yeah, I think we'll be bought into that. So what I'll do is I'll switch this off, get this off the bench. You can pick these up. You can pick them up for about 10-15 quid off eBay. So that's what I use on a regular basis to sort of cure solder mask. You can use ultraviolet lights, LED lights, torch and things like that, but I had this right from the outset, so I am going to utilise it to the best of my ability. Let's go a bit narrower and grab myself. Okay, and let's crack on with the installation of this board. Make sure that everything's okay. I hate these fucking keyboard ribbon, man. Honest to God, I just fucking can't stand them. You've got to take the battery out to do a proper install. Now I just don't want to go through that route of doing so. Absolutely fucking nightmare. Look at these things. You've got to poke this one out. You've got to poke this out. You've got to move this, and we'll poke that one out as well. Yep. To be dead honest with you, I'm quite satisfied. I just want to be. I'm satisfied. I just want to be 100% satisfied. That's what I'm doing. Is I'm doing everything to the right, correctful manner. So that's why I'm just keep on checking and checking and checking, because at the end of the day, it is my responsibility. And look, it lines up beautifully from the outside. It's just that there was a bit of an alteration that I had to make because the port is being installed upside down, because otherwise you can't line it up with the rest of the pin. It's not just a 4 straight and straight leg on the outside of the ground leg on the outside. It's not. It is not. So your life will be a friggin' living hell basically. Let's install the Wi-Fi card. Okay. Connect device battery after. Let's connect these Wi-Fi antennas. Come Sheffield tomorrow to the Lady Bowers Reservoir. We'll be doing Derwent Valley tomorrow with my absolutely fascinating mountain bike, which I've spent tons of money on it, and I think it's one of the best It's fully rebuilt with Hope parts. Let's put it this way. If you want me to do a review on it, let me know. Cycling is very good for your mind, and especially when you're doing countryside cycling, a breath of fresh air is always a good idea. It's always a good idea to get a breath of fresh air, clean air, because we live in the town and the fucking air is polluted with all fume from vehicles and absolute bollocks, basically. Absolute bollocks. Funny that I'm working at this so late. I should have packed up and gone to bed, because I've got to get up early. I was setting off about 11ish, something like that, so not a big deal. It's a 14-mile stretch around the reservoir, from the east side to the west, and so it's no big deal. We've done longer journeys than that. The maximum we've done was 60 miles on a go, basically, which was from here, from Greater Manchester to Blackpool. It was a set off 6 in the morning, basically, and we got there around about 11:30 in the afternoon. Absolutely brilliant. It was an amazing experience, so we're going to do it hopefully this summer again for charity this time around, because it's an absolute utter fucking waste of time if it's not charity. We're doing it for the fun of it. We've done it once, so this time around it will definitely be charity. 100% it'll be charity, because at least if we can participate in a bit of a help on anything and everything to the community in any form or manner, then that would make me really happy. You know, funny thing is, we very quickly forget that where we are and what we're doing and how we're living our life, we are blessed. We are very much blessed. You know, there are people in countries where they can't even have a full meal, let alone anything else, let alone a Note 9, let alone a GT bike, or let alone a Rado watch, whatever it is. You know, so I'm very thankful, and we should all be thankful for what we have, because you don't know, those people are suffering outside out into the rest of the world. So be thankful for who you are, what you do, and so on and so forth. Okay guys, let me I won't connect the battery now. Let me I want to see it powering up, basically, so I hope this doesn't go bursting into flames, because if it fucking does, then I'll be going off my head, basically. So I did see an LED lighting up. Do I get any display? Of course I do. So look, you see what I'm seeing? There you go, the display's on. So that's with no battery connected. Let me see if it boots into... Yes, it is booting to the operating system. There's a bit of a click stiffness on around this button, so I'm going to have to look into that very shortly. Let me sort everything out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so I won't be able to demonstrate if the battery's charging. Please forgive me, because it's not going to happen. Right, you're just going to have to take my word for it. There should be an red LED indicator, yeah, battery charging indicator. Let me turn this off, and then I'll plug the battery in and try and charge it. The light should come on, so we know that the battery's charging as well. because at the moment the battery's unconnected. That's off. Plug in the battery. Fucking bollocks. It's bollocks, mate. Proper bollocks, right, okay. Let's see what's going on. That could be bloody shit on the power button. So we're not getting any charge. I can't see any charge at the LED lit up on the battery thingy, so I can't. Oh, okay, hang on a sec. Something's come about. Something came about there. Yeah, I've got a little flashing orange light. So again, I can't check. That means that it could be charging. It means that the battery's fucking overcharged and it's. I hate fucking Windows 10. Bastards. There's a battery icon there. But as soon as I hover over it, it just fucking. It's a flashing amber light. Let's see what happens when the laptop switches off. Do I still get that flashing light? Okay, it does, so it is charging. Yep, that's all for now. I'll look into that power button issue tomorrow. That's not the reason why it came in here. It's a bit stiff. That could be that there's a bit of a liquid or dirt in there, but that's not for this video. As it is, this video has taken quite long. You've seen it that it's charging, you've seen it's working. It's not the same port, it's a different port. I've had to work around it, but it's fixed now. Anyway, have a great weekend, guys, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.